Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by KOG Games. The past couple of months have covered more than a handful of games in the combo-heavy, cel-shaded, story-based action MMORPG subgenre, and now I've got another one for you guys. Today I will give you my review of Elsword Online, and my impressions on the latest content like the new expansion to Elrianode, and the challenging dungeons within it like the Hall of El. Make sure to click on the link below if you do end up liking what you see and want to try Elsword. For this review, I was provided with temporary max level characters to be able to give my impressions on the new content only available to high level players. I did hear that the newer dungeons are extremely difficult, so before I jumped into those, I went ahead and began by learning the basics through a few hours of the early levels. I think it's important to experience the progression hands-on, so I tried out a handful of characters that looked interesting and ended up leveling Raven, a melee character with a blade and explosive hand. Starting out, you'll be choosing one of 12 total characters. There's a huge variety when it comes to characters in Elsword, with each character having 3 advancement trees to choose from at level 15 and more advancements for each of them after that. It's got an old school type of job advancement based purely on level and tested by a series of missions to complete. While the basis of controls and combat stay the same regardless of choice, each one has its own personality, story, and unique gameplay style tied to their individual purpose in the story of the game. The journey begins with a tutorial of the very basics like moving with the arrow keys, basic attacks with Z and X, and other keys to activate unique abilities. It is very easy to understand even without a tutorial. Move to your right to move forward, talk to whoever looks important, and do whatever it is they ask of you, from the first map of Ruben all the way to the last. While it is a side-scroll game, Elsword offers some more skill-based action combat. Combos matter a lot, and the ability to perform well-timed dodges through jumps and dashes are huge factors in whether you die or not, both in PvP and PvE. It's not as simple as mindlessly hacking and slashing your way to the end like a few other games in the subgenre. Monsters tend to be more complex, in other words they're challenging to predict, especially in the newer and more advanced dungeons. They also hit very hard, so you gotta kill them fast and keep them on the ground with combos, on top of having to avoid dozens of attacks while doing so. It's simple early on and gets progressively harder at a good pace. The story takes place in Elrios, a mystical land where Elsword and his allies go on a quest to recover a stolen power gem known as an L-gem. You'll be thrown straight into a story cutscene explaining your place in the world and your character's reason for going through the game as a member of Elsword's search party, beating up the bad guys, following leads of the stolen gemstone from one region to the next. The game is very story-based and does a good job of telling it through progression as well as tying the individual characters' goals with the story without making it feel awkward. Granted, I did read up on a lot of the game's lore beforehand, but it's definitely not needed to understand your place in Elrios. There's a ton of lore behind this game, including a manga and light novel series for it if you're interested in that level of lore understanding. Just a note, as with most other games in the subgenre, there is no customization in the initial character creation, but outfits and further customization are offered within the game. There's a decent variety of outfits available in the cash shop, and from the character window, facial details, idle motions, awakening glow, and even the art for certain ultimate skills can be changed. The technical stuff aside, Elsword's social aspect is one of the key factors to its longevity. From my 3 days of playing, I noticed that everywhere I went, there's always a group of people talking. Towns, city outskirts, and even the sparring lobbies and instances that are meant to be for practicing PvP are often used for roleplay and social gathering. I saw the same people in the same corners of town talking to each other every day, especially in Elder Village, a low-level city used as one of the social hubs in the game. I spent quite a lot of time chatting with people there, and most told me that the community is a big part of why they continue to play and come back to Elsword. It's not something I see often in newer MMOs coming out today, and while it is obvious there are more than a few more old-school aspects in the world of Elsword, the social appeal of the game is not to be taken lightly. I want to also note that though the graphics of the world is cel-shaded and not 3D, this is one of the games that do 2.5D very well. The world is very artistic and aesthetically pleasing. Anyway, even though Elsword has been out since 2007, it is an episodial MMORPG, so it's still getting major updates. After reading through a few of my high-level characters' abilities, I chose to play the Windsneaker and the Reckless Fist to check out the newer Elrianode dungeons. The newest content in Elrianode is limited only to the highest levels, including the Hall of El, which by the way is quite difficult. I went in thinking that I got to level 30 without dying, and I got some pointers from people in town, so surely I can at least get to the halfway point. 20 resurrections later, I can wholeheartedly say that the Hall of El is currently beyond my level of experience with Elsword's combat. However, I'm still proud of clearing several stages inside, even though I didn't get to finish it. The AI for the mirrored enemies are unpredictable enough to be very challenging if you're just jumping into it without a plan. They also hit very hard. I think if I had more time to get used to my character's skills, I could probably beat it. I also tried Elsword's PvP, but I just got badly humiliated by experienced players, so I won't get too much into that. Granted, everyone else had a better idea of how the PvP works in the game. All I can say is it looks very combo based and their system is very cool. There's the sparring or practice rooms for up to 8 people to brawl and actual arenas with various modes ranging from 1v1 to 4v4. Anyway, for someone who's played a lot of games in this subgenre, I can genuinely say that Elsword is more challenging than most. The story is told in a way that you can make sense of it easily, and the community is very welcoming, a really solid combination. I am sad I can't keep the high level characters I was given, but I did enjoy my time playing this game. Of course, if you want to check out the game yourself, you can sign up with the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one.